to another kids' church. Why are you upside down? What? I'm not upside down, you're upside down. Okay, let me see if I can fix it. Whew, okay, that's better. So today we're going to be continuing in our series about giving thanks. And this is a really important topic because we want to make sure that we're very grateful people. Today we're going to be reading a story in Luke 17 about 10 men who had leprosy. And before we do, I just want us to talk about what that means so we understand it a little bit better. So leprosy was a disease that was very contagious, and it affected their skin, but it also affected even their nerves and was very painful. And it was also something that was very isolating, meaning it was probably really lonely. They couldn't, they were considered unclean and untouchable. And so even if they were to go out in public, they would have to yell, unclean, unclean. And their sores and wounds probably made them smell pretty bad. And so it was just a really, really hard disease for them to have. So I want us to keep that in mind as we read this story. So here we go. Let's read in Luke 17. Luke 17, 11 through 19. Now on his way to Jerusalem, Jesus traveled along the border between Samaria and Galilee. As he was going into a village, 10 men who had leprosy met him. They stood at a distance and called out in a loud voice,
Jesus, Master, have pity on us.
When he saw them, he said,
Go, show yourselves to the priest.
And as they went, they were cleansed. One of them, when he saw he was healed, came back, praising God in a loud voice. He threw himself at Jesus' feet and thanked him, and he was a Samaritan. Jesus asked,
Were not all 10 cleansed? Where are the other 9? Has no one returned to give praise to God except this foreigner?
Then he said to him,
Rise and go. Your faith has made you well.
Okay, so in this story, we see the 10 men cry out to Jesus asking to be healed. And we see Jesus' response as he tells them to go show themselves to the priest. So why does Jesus do this? Well, the priest is the one who would declare and announce these men clean once they had been healed from their leprosy. So the amazing thing is that they hadn't yet been healed when Jesus said that. So the fact that they left to go show themselves to the priest was an example of their faith. They showed their faith. They believed that Jesus was going to do it. And that is something that's really amazing about these men. And we see that when one of them saw that he was healed, he runs back to Jesus, praising God and being thankful. He's showing his gratitude. And Jesus asks, well, didn't I heal 10? Where are the other 9? Are they coming back to say thank you? So this is a really important lesson in gratitude because in this story we see that Jesus expects gratitude from all 10 of the men. And so we know that God wants us to be grateful. So I want to ask us a question today, and I want to know, why are we sometimes not grateful? Right? We have to think about that. Things happen. Sometimes we just don't feel grateful. So I started thinking about these other 9 men, right? And I started thinking, I wonder what might have been some of the things that they thought. Maybe. The Bible doesn't tell us exactly what went through their heads or why they didn't come back. And so I think it would be good just for us to brainstorm and think about some reasons that maybe we feel ungrateful at times and maybe some things that they might have been feeling. You know, this was a game changer for these guys. I mean, their lives were going to change so drastically in a good way, in a really, really good way. So I wonder if some of them just got so wrapped up in the moment, they got so excited that they forgot to say thank you. I know that that happens to me sometimes. Sometimes I get so excited about the gift that God has given me that I don't focus on who gave me the gift, right? That I get so excited and I can get kind of self-absorbed, like I make it all about me, that I really need to stop and pause and say thank you. So I imagine that maybe one of the lepers might have thought, well, I know I had leprosy, but my leprosy wasn't quite as bad as so and so's leprosy. Right? Sometimes we do that. Sometimes we allow comparison to steal our gratitude. I don't know about you guys, but I grew up with siblings, and I can think about moments like if my mom were to give us a treat, right? There might be a temptation to look over and see, like, if my mom gave me M&Ms, how many did my brother get? So if my brother got 10 M&Ms and I only got 8 M&Ms, then I might start to feel less grateful. Even though I had 0 M&Ms to start with, I should still be grateful for getting 8. Right? But sometimes we look at what other people have, or we look at something that we want that other people have and we don't have it. And then we might start to feel ungrateful for the really cool things that we do have. So that's one way that we can guard our hearts, is to not compare what other people have to what we have. So now that we've talked about some of the ways that we show our lack of gratitude, we can talk about how we can show our gratitude instead. And I think the really big important lesson here is that we can just be grateful on purpose. I can't remember the name of the person who said this, and I'm probably not going to quote it exactly right, but they were talking about how you can't be grateful and ungrateful at the same time. So if you feel like you're struggling with being grateful and thankful for what you have, or, sometimes we just wake up in a bad mood or something happened and we feel sad or upset, but we can make the decision to just start thinking about things that we're grateful for. And so that really helps me to change my mood and to change my heart and be more grateful and, just thinking about those things on purpose.